Alright, yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Or rather, the rabbit in the room, because what I'm going to be talking about today is the White Rabbit plush. This vanity is doing things that no other vanity has done before, and it's kind of insane. The White Rabbit plush was the ultra rare vanity from the Lunar New Year event 2023, which only happened around a month and a half ago. This vanity is currently sitting at 23.4 or even closer to 23.5 million Pokeyen, and there's only around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them listed on the GTL at all. What happened to this item? How is this item this expensive, and how is it this rare so soon after the event for it just happened? As with anything economically, there's many reasons and many contributors for that, and I'm going to try to break them all down. First things first is what was actually happening during the event and what brought them into the game and how many of them came into the game. They were achieved via the lucky red envelopes, so you actually had to open the lucky red envelopes and gamble for them. And I've been spreading awareness around this. Gambling is bad. Even when a vanity is this expensive, gambling is still bad and still not worth it. So you needed to buy these 2023 ones specifically. 2023 lucky red envelopes, which right now the cheapest one is around 145k on the GTL. These have gone up in price as well. Which only makes sense. Whenever a limited vanity like that goes up in price, so does the sealed product surrounding it. It's pretty crazy to see this though. It rose up really quickly as well. But we need to talk about Shaman. This vanity actually has a lot of correlations with Shaman. Shaman was introduced for the first time during this recent Lunar New Year event, and it's not only the first time Shaman was introduced, but it's also the first time a mythical Pokemon, anything close to a permanently owned legendary, has ever been introduced into PokeMMO. It was a big deal, and everybody was going after Shaman. So, while everyone was going after Shaman, less people were playing the normal event, which is how you get those lucky red envelopes. So less lucky red envelopes were coming into the game than normal. And then on top of that, less people are gambling them and opening them than normal because of my videos and because of spreading that awareness. People are becoming more economically inclined, which is a good thing. But it's still really interesting how people making the correct decisions have really blown up this item and how everything's just domino affected in the perfect way. It's truly the perfect storm for the White Rabbit plush. I do have to quickly mention, it's a good vanity. The other reason why this is happening is just because there's so much demand for it. No matter what type of person you are, you want a bunny on your head. Ironically enough, during the making of this video, it looks like a new one just got listed, so there's 8 now, only 2k Pokeyen less than the previous one. But for this item, to keep this price, 23.5 mil or so, this quickly after it was released is unprecedented. We've never seen this before. We've talked about and explained the high demand and the low supply. There's way lower supply than normal, and it's a really good vanity that a lot of people like, so there's a huge demand. Now let's dig a little deeper and look at the actual statistics, and let's see the historical progression of the price of the White Rabbit plush. Now the site that I'm using is called PokeMMO Prices, and it will be linked down in the description below, and here is the overall history for the White Rabbit plush, and we can see a lot of things going on here. I do also have ads enabled for this. I usually have ad block on, but I encourage you guys to allow ads for this site as it's a really cool part of PokeMMO, the PokeMMO community and PokeMMO history, and I would love for it to be able to sustain and keep running. So just a quick little advert there, maybe turn ads on for this site. But let's hone in on the information. That's what we care about here. So the White Rabbit plush, ignore this number, this isn't accurate. The White Rabbit plush started at around 12.5 mil. This is when the event first came out around January 25th. It might have had one listed for 25 mil on the first day, but no one really bought it, didn't sell, ignore that price. This is the real starting price of the White Rabbit plush, 12.5 mil, which is pretty normal. I'd say 12 mil is pretty average for a typical ultra rare vanity during an event like this. It slowly rose, and then it quickly rose to 20 mil. That's abnormal. It went back down. People realized that's an overpriced thing. People opened up more lucky reds, came back down to around 15 mil. 2 days later, 13 mil, back up to 16. These sort of spikes like this, aggressive spikes, are very normal during an event. However, now we see 3 days later, January 28th, it's going down, 29th, still going down, 30th, 12 mil, 11.3 mil is the lowest we've ever seen the White Rabbit plush get. And this makes sense. It's during the middle of the event. There is the most amount of people playing. There is the most amount of supply. People aren't really buying stuff yet because they're more worried about playing the event and selling stuff and making money. They'll start picking up stuff towards the end of the event, and that's exactly what happens. As the event goes on, people start buying the White Rabbit plush. Things, keep happening, yada, yada, yada. I think around February 7th is when the event ends. It spikes all the way up to 19.5 mil, goes back down a little bit, down to 17.6. Here we're at February 5th right now. We go over to, let's head over to February 7th. This is the end of the event. This is the end. Around 15.2 mil. People sold it off. The hype is gone, people think, and then bam. It actually goes back up February 8th. And it just shows, I think, with how much this vanity is still spiking up and down, it really shows the unbelievable low supply. I think when a vanity is still spiking this hard, now we do get a maintain line from around, what's the date here? February 11th all the way over to February 20th. So around 9 days, we get it consistently at around 18 mil. It goes down a little bit, and then bam. This is where things get crazy, and this is where we get to current day. On March 3rd, it spiked up to 21 mil, and then stayed, went a little bit down, spiked all the way back up to 23.4 on March 6th. I'm recording this on March 7th, and this vanity has held at around 23.4, 24, 25 mil almost, and it's shocking. This vanity has been out since January 25th. A month and a half, you can see January 24th to March 7th right here is the little date. It's mind-blowing to me. It's crazy how short this vanity has been in the game, and it's already going up in this price. This vanity will just perpetually, as long as there is demand for it, will just perpetually go up from here. There is no more supply coming into the game unless people open lucky red envelopes, and there's no more supply ever coming into the game for more lucky red envelopes. It's just a really interesting phenomenon. I actually want to go ahead and compare this chart to another very comparable item that also came out during a Lunar New Year event And the item I'm about to talk about is the other most insane item to ever be released in PokeMMO, and it is nothing compared to this, surprisingly. Many of you might have guessed the next item that I'm going to be talking about, but it's actually the Golden Dragon Mask. This vanity was the fastest rising in price vanity we had ever seen before the White Rabbit plush, and now its current price is actually quite low. People love this item, especially the Chinese community in PokeMMO, which is awesome. It's sitting at around 14.2, 14.3 mil Pokeyen at the moment, and this thing went up to like 25 or 30 mil or so after like 1 year of it being released. But let's go ahead and check the charts. All right, here we see the history of the Golden Dragon Mask. Now, unfortunately, we can only see back to August 29th, 2022, so we don't have the full history of this item. That reason being is because this site just didn't exist beforehand, but we have seen this item reach 24, 25 mil. I can speak from that for my history of the game, but we see it start at around 16 mil back then. Now, this item, when it was released, the important information is when it was released, it was around 4 mil or so. I believe it was a gift shop vanity, actually, crazily enough. Yeah, it was a gift shop vanity, if I'm not mistaken, the Golden Dragon Mask, which is arguably even crazier than the Rabbit Mask. Since the Rabbit Mask was from a more gambling type thing, it's actually more difficult to get, where the Golden Dragon Mask people will just buy for 4 mil off the gift shop. They just buy it straight from the gift shop, and the fact that now it costs so much is kind of insane. So that's a pretty interesting one. Let's go ahead and move on. So it was 4 mil at its release. It spiked up anywhere up to 25 mil at its peak. It was 16 mil here for a while back in August. September, it continued to go down. The Golden Dragon Mask always holds a decent value. The lowest we've seen it drop to, the lowest we saw it drop to was around 11 mil in October, right around here. There we go. This website's a little laggy. Sorry about that, guys, but it is a really cool tool. October 28th, it dropped down to 11 mil, which was the lowest we ever saw it go. We see it spike back up after that. This item's all about ebbs and flows and is always going up and down. But the Golden Dragon Mask is really the only comparable item to the White Rabbit plush that went up such an extreme amount so quickly. By the end the event was over back in 2021 for it, it ended up going from 4 mil to 15 mil to 25 mil within a year. Within a year, the item had increased, hundreds of % in value, and you just don't see that very often. But I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. I thought this item was extremely insane. I've been needing to make a video on it for a while. It's just so insane. It's unprecedented. It's just something unique. It's something we've never seen in PokeMMO. We've never seen a vanity get this much hype this quickly. We're all aware that old vanities always go up in value over time, but new vanities don't usually spike up in value this fast. But that's everything for me today, to avoid rambling and repeating the same things over and over again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it on YouTube. It really does help me out a lot and lets me know what kind of content you guys are enjoying. Dislike if you didn't like it. That's totally okay as well. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow me on Twitch, links down below, for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. EST. Discord is links down below as well for updates on all of my content and information on the game itself. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, it really does help out a ton. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal, and Venmo are all linked down below, and you'll always get your name featured at the end of videos like this. Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and if you're watching this, that means you watched until the very end of the video, and I want to say thank you so much for that. Hopefully, it was a positive asset on your day. And I want to say thank you to everyone's name who is listed here. These guys go above and beyond and are positive assets on my day and allow me to do what I do, trying to make the best PokeMMO content every day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.